A warm welcome to everyone present here. This is Dr. R. Tulasiram, Associate Professor, Department of Social Sciences, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. So today the topic for discussion is promotional and pricing strategies. So this particular title is coming under the course Agricultural Marketing, Trade and Prices. So this is one of the courses for the third year BSc Agriculture students. So this particular title consists of the different strategies used by the sellers to sell their marketing products. So while we see this topic, we'll be dealing with different promotional strategies and also different pricing methods followed by different sellers in our country. Let us move into the topic. First of all, when we discuss about the promotional strategies as a topic, one of the main things that we will consider is price, because price is one of the important factors that will be considered by both sellers and buyers. That is, when a person wants to sell his finished goods, he will consider the market price. And also on the other side, when the consumer wants to buy a product from a market, he will consider what price is prevailing in the market. So when we go for a promotional strategy of a particular product, we should consider the price and pricing methods to be followed. So while we see about promotional strategies in marketing, we will consider price and different pricing methods used in a market. Just for an introduction, promotional strategies is one of the most powerful sales strategies used by the sellers. Here, the sellers will use 2 points, that is, one is the price of the product and also the offers that he gives for the consumers while selling a product. The brands temporarily reduce the price of a product or service to attract the consumers. That is, the main motto is to attract the consumers to buy more and more of his products. So to get the attraction from the consumer, the seller will reduce the price of the products temporarily for the attraction. The prices can be reduced by a percentage amount for a limited duration, and an item is therefore deemed to be in sale. So the seller, for his product, he will be reducing the price in the market, but this price reduction will prevail in the market only for a limited time period before which the consumer should make use of. So why he does that? Because to increase the demand for the particular product in the market and also to attract the price sensitive consumers. That is, each and every consumer, that is rational consumers in our country, they are price sensitive. That is, when the price of a product is low in the market, they will purchase more. And when the price of the product is very high in the market, they will end up in purchasing less quantity of product. So because of these 2 reasons, the sellers will follow promotional strategies by reducing the price of their products only for a temporary period of time. Right. So what is the main rationale behind this promotional strategies? That is, there are 2 points to be considered by the sellers. That is, either he can incur loss or he can get profit. So this profit and loss will be greatly decided by the promotional strategies used by the sellers. The major objective behind giving a price discount for his product is, that is, he may incur loss when he reduce the price of his product. So how this loss will be compensated? This loss will be compensated by increasing the sales volume. That is, when the price of a product is very low in the market, that will attract the consumers, and in turn, the consumers will buy more and more. That is, the sales volume will get increased because of the low price. And also, because of this low price prevalence in the market, he can get more and more consumers. That is what we have already discussed, that this price reduction and price discount will attract more and more customers. So instead of going for high profit, the sellers will try to attract new consumers through his promotional strategies. So this is the main objective of this promotional strategies, that is price discount. Now we will see some of the characteristic features of promotional strategies. First of all, what is the benefit of a businessman? That is, the businessman will use these promotional pricing as a sales incentive when initially launching a particular product line. That is, when he introduces a particular product for the first time in a market, he will go for promotional pricing. That will attract more and more consumers. So it is an informed decision made by a businessman to give price discounts on particular product or particular brand. The calculations must be done in order to assess the feasibility of any discount and the time period for the offer. So before providing a discount, the seller has to analyze how far he will incur with loss, how much profit he can get. So how much discount he can offer to the people of the country. So that has to be assessed before setting a price discount, because that will bite the sellers if the price discount is more than affordable discount. Then in the point of view of retailers, it often uses loyalty card to manage discounts and promote rewards. The loyalty cards are the cards that will be kept by the retailers when they go for continuous purchase. Even in our country, when we go for shopping malls, when we go for any textile shops and all, we will be given with a customer cards that can be called as a premium card. So based on the loyal points gained by each and every customers, the discounts will be provided for such customers when they go for purchase the next time. So the strategy here is to encourage more purchasing in order to earn points. So the more and more purchase made by the consumers will be offered with more and more loyal points. When they go for another purchase in the future, they will be given with lots of discounts. So they may also offer discount coupons to those in the loyalty scheme or to all their customers. So this is one of the promotional strategies used by some of the sellers in our country. Then now, so far we have seen what is promotional pricing, that is promotional strategies used by the seller, and how far it is beneficial for the seller and as well as the buyer. To remind it, just listen, the businessman will get more and more sales and he will get more and more profit. On the other side, the retailers will purchase the product at low price because he is given with promotional rewards based on the loyalty points gained by the purchase made by these customers. So they will be given with coupons and other extra facilities when they go for a purchase that can be utilized in the future. But the point here is they can make use of these coupons and vouchers only for a limited period of time. That is, within a short period of time, the customers are encouraged to go for another purchase which was not at all planned prior by the customer. So that is what it is mentioned in the previous slides. These promotional strategies will encourage the customers to go to the shopping again and again because they will get discounts. Right. So now from now on, we'll be dealing with some of the types of promotional pricing used by the sellers, right? So that is the pricing methods used by the sellers that will encourage the buyers to buy more and more. Okay. And for each and every pricing method, we will see both the pros and cons. That is the merits and demerits of each and every types will be discussed. The first type of promotional pricing here is buy one, get one offer. That is shortly called as BOGOF, B-O-G-O-F, and sometimes it may be called as BOGO offer, B-O-G-O, that is buy one and get one. So this can be shortly, again, it can be defined as 2 for the price of 1. That is, you'll be getting 2 products, but you'll be paying only for 1 product. So this is one of the important promotional strategies, and this is found to be highly attractive for the customers. So here, what happens actually, the positive side of this is it encourages extra purchase by the customers and future loyalty will be maintained between customer and the sellers. And in the eyes of the consumer, it loses its premium status and becomes just like any generic product. That is, whenever a brand started giving an offer to a customer, what the customers will think, okay, this product is availing us some offers, so the brand is getting destroyed. The brand is losing its name. So that is normally what the people will think when some brand gives exclusive offers. On the other side, whenever people gives free to the customers, the main product that will be good in terms of quality, but the products which is given for free or the products which are given the offers that will be of poor quality. This is a normal thing that happens in all the markets, which is, I don't know how many customers are watching these kind of activities getting done inside a market. So the main product that you pay, that will be of good quality, but the sub products that you receive in the name of offers and discounts and free, that will be of poor quality. And this is one of the points to be considered in the point of view of consumers. So this is the first type called buy one and get one free. So these are some of the examples for BOGOF offers. You can see here, buy one, get one clearance sale for some of the diamond shopping. And here also left side, you can see buy one, get one free given by some of the other food delivery people. And Pizza Hut also, they will tell buy one and get one pizza absolutely free. That means you'll be getting two products, but you can pay only for one product. But the thing we need to consider as a customer here is, at the bottom, you can see in the bottom picture, at the bottom, you can see there is a sentence called terms and conditions applied. So this clearly tells that you will get this offer, but there will be some terms and conditions to be delivered to the consumers. So while we make the purchase, that terms and conditions will be explained clearly by the shopkeeper to the consumers. After listening to such terms and conditions, you can decide whether to purchase this or not. Let us move on to the second type of promotional pricing, that is coupons. So this is in the form of a paper or card, which is to be given by the shopkeepers to the consumers after every purchase, normally during the billing section, right? So this is money of coupons have been long been an important and remain the most commonly used form of price promotion. But the thing is, when we go for one purchase and we are given with a coupon, and will be provoked and encouraged to go for another purchase, because within a short period of time, this coupon will get damaged. So coupon will be offered to consumers through newspapers, magazines, internet, or via even email. The company only provides the discount to customers who produce the coupon. So here, this point is an important point, because when someone made a purchase for 15,000 from a shop, he will be given with 2,000 worth coupon. But at the next day, what happens? This coupon can be transferable from this person to any other person who never made any purchase in the past. So this is why there is one lacuna found in this method. And some of the positive things here is introducing loyalty to a brand at its early stage. That is one of the positive things here, because when we introduce a product, you want to get a loyal customer, that is a continuous customer, regular customer. So that is one positive thing. So the cards that you provide in the form of coupons, that will attract more consumers. And the negative thing in this method is giving a discount to people who never buy your product. That is the negative thing which was informed already. That is, the person who have never made purchase from your shop can also get the benefit, because the coupon that you gave to the regular customer is easily transferable from him to another person. So that is the major drawback of this method of promotional strategy. So these are some of the examples of coupon offers. That is the first example. You can see there is a flat offer given by one of the shops, and here it is clearly mentioned here, the valid for only purchase of worth of minimum 1,999. That is, there is a terms and conditions mentioned by the shopkeeper. That is what I mentioned already. And this is the terms and conditions mentioned by this particular shopkeeper. The right hand side, you can see there is one more coupon given for travel agency, and there will be a coupon code mentioned. So the customers have to produce this coupon code to avail this offer in the future. And this coupon is also only for a limited period of time. And the important thing to be noticed here is, you can see one of the companies at the bottom. Here it is mentioned as it is valid only for a limited period of time. And this coupon, it is only for a limited period of time, that we need to consider before going for a shop. So what pressure we have in our head is, if the time limit that is given is 15 days, that means the customer has to make another purchase within the 15 days of time. So we planned only for one purchase, but because of these coupons, which is delivered by the shopkeepers, the consumers end up in purchasing 2 times from the same shop. So that is what I mentioned. The customers will be encouraged because of these kind of coupons. The third one is point of sale discounts. These are the discounts which will be never yes, these are the coupons will be never delivered to the consumers directly, but that will be given when they go for a purchase. That is, this is the simplest type of price promotion method. A shop will simply advertise an amount of or percentage off. In some cases, the deals are offered as a surprise in the store as a special thing. That is, when we go for purchase, that time on the spot, they will be giving you the offers. So you can make use of the offers, right? So the positive thing here is it encourages more spending. On-spot discounts will improve the seller-customer relationship. That is, when they the starting itself, when they reduce the price, the customer will not have a good name with the sellers. That means the customer will not be impressed by the sellers. So what sellers will do at present, they will tell the price is like 2,000 rupees for 1 unit of the product. And while billing the product, that time the sellers will tell the consumers that they will be reducing 200 rupees out of 2,000. So this on-spot discounts will definitely impress the consumers, and the seller-customer relationship will get built up. And also it encourages the customer to go for more and more spending. But it is not known to the customers because it is all these things are happening only in the on spot. When they go for purchase, only they will come to know about all these discounts. So that is one of the disadvantages of this type of promotional strategy. The next one is point of sale discounts examples. Here you can see some of the discounts will be made only at the time of billing, and some of the discounts will be made while they make negotiation with the shopkeepers. So next one is the loyalty schemes. These are rewards offered for being a part of the scheme, and the more the customer spends, the more points they accumulate, which leads to greater rewards. That is, the more and more the purchase that we make with a particular shop will be given with a loyalty scheme, the name of a card. So when we go for another purchase, we can get some offers. Sometimes the reward scheme is tailored and customized to the individual customer, right? So here you can see it's 5 to 6 times more expensive to get a new customer than to retain the existing one. That is, you may have lots of existing customers, but if you want to get a new customer, it is not an easy task. So what burden you have now, it is your responsibility as a seller to retain your regular customer, that is existing customer. So you need to attract them by giving some loyalty schemes. So this is one of the major objective of this kind of method, right? So the positive thing of this method is it works best for high commitment, higher price point businesses like airlines, hospitality, or insurance company. That is, wherever the purchase is more, wherever the billing amount is more, there the loyalty scheme will be applicable. That is, when we tend to purchase more, when we tend to spend more and more, we will get more and more of discounts. And this method is not the one for the small customers, because for the small customers, the billing amount will be too low as compared to the large customers. So you can clearly see the examples mentioned here: the airlines, hospitality, or insurance company. The airlines, hospitality, insurance company, they make more transactions. The billing amount is more here, so that may attract people. So another method is trade promotions. Here, the trade buyers who purchase products from the suppliers, that is, the suppliers are the one who will sell the product in bulk for resale, and they will receive several distinct price promotions from the suppliers. That is, the suppliers will be selling the products in wholesale, and traders who want to buy the product from the suppliers, and they will just sell this product to another person. So what advantage the traders will make here? They will, since they buy the products in bulk from the suppliers, they will ask for some discounts. So there will be a percentage of promotions will be offered on a given order, and bulk buys are a common trade market incentives made by the suppliers. The companies that order larger quantities gets volume deals such as 10 to 20% on a certain minimum order size. That is, when they go for more and more of order, because of the large, huger amount of billing, they will be given with some percentage of the form of discounting. So this is one of the promotional strategies followed by the suppliers. So now we have seen, so far we have seen some of the promotional strategies that the sellers use. And as I told you, pricing and pricing method is one of the important factors that is to be considered in any selling and buying process. So now, from now on, from this slide, we'll be dealing with different pricing methods followed by different sellers. I have included some of the best examples I can give, right? So please follow this. You can understand the concept very easily, right? So first, the pricing method, you can see it in everywhere. It is common everywhere in our country, that is giving discounts. There are two discounts. There is one thing that is up to 50% off and flat 50% off. So here in flat 50% off, you can have it as flat 30% off or even flat 20% off. So in this offer, all the products of a particular store will be sold at 50% discount. That is, each and every product which is available inside the store will be given with 50% discount rate. But whereas in up to 50% off stores, the discount percentage varies for different products at the same store. That is, only a limited number of products in that particular store will be given with 50% offer, and all the other products will be given with a discount. The rate is different. That is 40% offer, 30% offer for different products. So that is the major difference between these two offers. The next important pricing method is discount pricing, where the goal of a discount pricing is to increase the customer traffic. That is, it attracts more and more customers to the shop, and also in the seller's point of view, to clear the old inventory from the business and also to increase the sale, because every year they have to update their products. You know, there may be a shirt, there may be a trouser, there may be some kids things, there may be some cosmetic items. So whenever it gets old, you know, they will be going for upgradation of the products next year. So when they go for upgradation of the products in the next year, they have to sell all the products which is available from the last year. That we called as inventory, that the stored up goods in the inventory, which is found to be old, that is to be cleared off from the store. To clear this old inventory, they will be giving the products for discounts. That is 10%, 20%, 30%, and etc. These are some of the examples for discount pricing. You can see here, there will be a volume discounts, and for different volume of plans, they will be given with a specific discount. That is, for a 3 months plan in a mobile network, they may be given with a discount of 7.25 rupees. And for a 1 year plan, they will be given the different discount amount. That is what I said. No, it depends on the volume of purchase also. If the volume of purchase made by you as a customer is more, you'll be given with more discount. When the volume is less, you'll be given with less discount. Next one is the product mix method, pricing method. Here, there will be a number of products in a single purchase. That is, the pricing optional or accessory products sold with the main product. That is, you may have a camera, and the camera has to be operated along with the lens or the thing that you want to put inside the camera, right now, camera roll. So everything will be combinedly given in a single purchase. That is optional product pricing. And there is one more technique called captive product pricing, where the pricing products that must be used within the main product. So without the camera roll, you cannot use the camera. Okay, so that will be combinedly sold. When you purchase a camera, they will be asking for an option to purchase camera roll also, right? And optional product pricing, the pricing optional or accessory products along with the main product. Say, for example, camera bag. And the next method of pricing is captive product pricing. No? Companies like Gillette will often price the razor at low cost and make the profit on the blades. That is, they will be selling the main products at low cost, so that all the consumers will be attracted towards the product. They will purchase this product and they will keep this product in their home. But this product has to be used along with the additional product. Okay. But if you don't buy this additional product, you cannot use the main product. So what they will do, they will fetch high price for the additional product. So now you have no other go rather than purchasing the sub product for a costly price. So this is one of the strategies used by many companies, not only razor companies. Next important method that everyone is aware of is psychological pricing. So it is a pricing and marketing strategy based on the theory that certain prices have psychological impact on consumer than the others. That is, when we see it is 310 rupees, it may be felt like high pricing product. But when the same product is sold at 299, Psychologically, it impacts us that we may think it as a low price. Even 300 and 299 sounds different in the mind of a consumer. So this is called as psychological pricing. These price tags called 999, 299, 555 and 4999 and all. No, it is normally available in some of the shops in our country. The next method of pricing is flash sale. The flash sale is sale of specific products that last for a shorter period of time and can sometimes spout deals of 50% to 70% of regular MSRP values. Okay, so based on the money that they spend to produce your product, they will keep the price just above that cost of production. Okay, but this sale, that will be only for a limited time period. That will be 1 minute or 2 minutes, sometimes half a minute, sometimes 5 minutes, within which the consumer has to enter the market and they have to buy through online. So since it remains for a limited period of time, this method of pricing is called as flash sale. So this is another example for a flash sale where you can see that this particular seller is trying to sell mobile phones through online, where you can see it is being sold at 1 rupees, but this offer can remain for only 2 days and that too for 2 minutes of time. So next important pricing strategy used by the sellers is price discrimination. The word discrimination explains change with respect to different place or person. That is, one person will be given with a price called P1 and another person will be given with a separate price called P2, which may be higher or lower than the previous price. So this price discrimination is the practice of charging a different price for the same good or service. That is, for the same good, there will be a different price prevailed in the market. There are 3 types of price discrimination. That is first degree discrimination, second degree and third degree price discrimination. Here you can see in this picture, this is the first degree discrimination where the products are found to be same, but the different price is given for a particular seller, the particular consumer. So that is the first degree of discrimination. And in the second degree of discrimination, it means charging a different price for different quantities of products, such as quantity discount for bulk purchases. The person who purchased only limited goods, they will be given with a different price. And the person who purchased as a bulk order, they will be given with a high discount with the price. So this is the second degree price discrimination. And the third degree discrimination, it means charging a different price to different consumer groups. That is, the consumer groups can be splitted here into different age groups. That is men, women, children, adults, old age people, etc. So when you go as a family, the price will be different. When you go as a couple, the price may be different. When you go as a student, even in some of the zoos also, in some of the shopping complexes also, in some of the supermarkets, there are some different offers given by the shopkeepers to the consumers, which is very, very low for the students compared to other age groups. So this third degree discrimination is charging different prices for different consumer groups. So next, you can see here, this is the discrimination with respect to area, that is geographical locations. Here you can see the products are sold at $169 to $205 in one of the regions of our planet, and the same products are being sold at $109 to $139 in some other region. So this is called discrimination with respect to geographical area. So one of the typical examples that we can tell is the Kashmir apple, which is famous in Kashmir, will be sold at a particular price called 100 rupees per kg, but the same can be sold at 200 rupees per kg in India because of the demand for Kashmir apples in India. So this is a perfect example for geographical discrimination. So next pricing is called special event pricing. So here you can see this kind of diamonds will be sold only for 2 days, within which you have to go for a purchase. It attracts consumers. The person who never planned for a purchase, they will end up in purchasing such products. So this is special event pricing. This is only for a limited period, and that too for a particular day of any year. Next one is bundle pricing. Here combining several products or services into a single comprehensive package for an inclusive reduced price. That is, when in a single package, when there are 2 or 3 or more than 3 products are being combined, you'll be given with a discount. It can still increase profits because it promotes the purchase of more than one item. That is, when you go to the shop to buy Coca-Cola, they'll be asking you, if you go for burger and French fries along with the Coca-Cola, you may be given with a discount. After hearing about this discount, you will end up in purchasing 4 different kinds of products, but your plan was only to purchase Coca-Cola. So this is bundle pricing. Next one is product line pricing. Here, the products will be same, but it will be fixed. It will be fixed with a different price. Say, for example, the hotel rooms may be same in any hotel, but in some of the hotel rooms, the view may be near to the ocean. You can see the ocean from the hotel. Because of these things, you will be given with a different pricing. And even flight also, everyone is given with a seat, but some of the people are given with AC compartment, not in the flights, but the trains. Okay, some of the people traveling in train will be given with AC compartments, and they will be given with a different pricing than that of the person who travels in the train without AC. Next one is price leadership. This is one of the things that prevails in a market. That is, in any market, if a seller is having huge amount of experience in a market, say for example 20 or 30 years, continuously if he is selling a particular product in a market, say for example a burger or pizza or rice or whatever it is. So when a new person who wants to do the same business enters the same market, he wants to follow this person, and that is called as price leadership. Okay, the price he will be fixing will be same as that of the person who is already there for the past 30 years. And the person who is having more experience will be considered as price leader in this particular market. Next one is dynamic pricing. Here, the price will be based on several factors. That is the forecast. That is future prediction of demand, present demand that will decide the price, availability in the market that also decides the price. And it also depends on the price which is being fixed by your competitor. Because if I am selling a product, say for example, Coca-Cola, and the same Coca-Cola is being sold by my competitor also, if he changes his price, I will also change the price according to him, because I need to cope up with my competitor to stay in the hunt in the market. Next one is predatory pricing. This is one of the funny types of pricing where deliberately one of the sellers will be cutting the price of his product so that he will be destroying the competitor from out of the frame. That is, when I sell some 4 different kinds of products and my competitors is selling only one type of product, what I will do, there is one product which is same with me and my competitor. So what I will do, I may fetch low price for that particular product so that customers will be attracted towards me, and he will end up in heavy loss, and he will stop producing that particular product. He will be going out of the market. So that means by fixing a particular price, I am destroying my competitor, right? So this is anti-competitive and illegal if it can be proved. That is, if there is a market for a particular product, there should be a minimum price fixed for the particular product. Okay,
Otherwise, if it is proved, a legal action can be taken to the sellers who sells a product at very, very low price, just to deliberately destroy his competitor. So that is why it is called as predatory pricing. So here you can see he will reduce the price of the product just to destroy his competitor out of the market. And there are, of course, there are some good impacts on offers and discounts. The good impact is it may attract the consumers to buy more and more of the product, and at the same time, it also make the consumers to go and purchase more and more. Okay, because he would have planned only to purchase 2 kg of a product or 2 numbers of a product. But because of these discounts, the person will end up in purchasing more and more. Okay, he would have planned to stop the purchase at some point of time. Because of these offers and discount which is given to this person, this consumer can go for an extra mile to purchase. So that is one thing. And the limit in this thing is there will be conflict between sellers in the market.
And sometimes along with the good products, the consumers can be given with a poor quality products. That is the major limitation of offers and discounts. And as I told you, whenever a good brand started giving discounts, the consumers will surely think that this particular brand is losing its name, good name in the market. The sales is getting down. The brand is not at all good nowadays. That is why they are going for discount. That is what people will think whenever a branded company will start start giving some offers to the consumers. And the impact of consumers, as I said, he will always try to save after the purchase. Okay, so there is a concept in economics called consumer surplus. That is the extra amount that remains in the hands of the consumers after every purchase. So when the price of the products in the market is low with respect to all the products, the consumers after every purchase, they will save some money. So that is the ultimate aim of the consumers. So whenever there is offers and discounts in a market, it will have an impact on the consumers, and it will make the consumers to save more and more after every purchase. And these are the benefits of a promotional pricing. It increases the customer traffic. It increases the value perception of the individuals, and it increases the revenue, and it also retains the regular customers. That is, it retains the loyal customers for the future transaction. These are some of the benefits of the promotional pricing. So to conclude, these pricing incentives are generally intended to bring in more and more customers, and it also drives the revenue and cash flow and turnover stock. It is a short-term approach for companies to maintain ongoing purchases from price-sensitive buyers. Excessive use of these sales promotions and discounts can cause a price orientation in customers. Too frequent price discounting, as I said, that might devalue the brand of a particular product. On the other hand, a well-planned loyalty scheme could both strengthen your image and provide you with useful data on your customers' purchasing behavior. Because nowadays, when you purchase, your data will be entered in the Excel sheet of the market. So based on the purchase that you make in the market, you'll be given with offers in the future transactions. So these are all some of the important conclusions that we can make from this lecture. So that's all for today's lecture. And in this lecture, we have discussed something about the promotional strategies and different pricing techniques used by the sellers, and the buyers benefits and sellers benefit because of these kind of promotional and pricing strategies. So that's all for today's class. Thanks for the patient listening. We will again meet up in some other class in the future with a different topic for discussion. Thank you.